welcome to the Old World Fanatics, your Warhammer Fantasy podcast to quench your hobby thirst for all things the Old World. I'm one of your hosts, Gomo. I'm joined by Andrew and Josh. We're here on live stream 87. How's everyone going?
Yep, another live stream. Pretty good. I really need to get a proper thumbnail for my image on that thing.
I think we all do. Yeah, I was just using whatever I had and then keep forgetting to get some off you guys. So probably should sort that. I keep saying this every Monday on Bughead, but we've just come off. I think the whole world, well, the sensible people have come off and on daylight savings. We won't mention Queensland, who just seem to want to live in the past. But anyway, we've joined them now an hour late back in the past again. So, but yes, as a result, I think it's like our time. It's like it feels like it's 10 o'clock and we just kicked off. And I'm like, I don't know. I keep saying this. This might be a shorter one. It probably won't, but I'm just warning people.
We'll see.
Just in case.
Yeah. We'll set that expectation anyway.
Yeah. But just as an intro, though, we are still on a high from Cathay. I think we've been spending a little bit of time. I even went to install Total War on my computer, but I bought a new computer as well, so I might as well wait. And I came today. Well, I went and picked it up, but yeah, just because I thought,
wow, that's big. What you got to actually crack out Cathay and actually play the army in Total War? Is that what you're meaning, or
just to learn a little bit? Oh, well, both. Yeah, just maybe, but then in reality, you watch. I won't.
So you can't.
As you'll see, if we hit hobby, I have way too much other shit. Yeah, well, I just wanted to learn about it a little bit, and then I went, might as well download it because I did have it. I just never actually, had to reset up Steam and all that. And I realized I just bought a new MacBook. I might wait until I actually set the new one up rather than download it on this one and then have to do it again. So anyway.
Oh, so you haven't? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I set Steam back up and then I went, why am I doing this? I've got a computer coming on Monday. I might as well wait.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Get the best.
It's exciting. Just only because I feel like it's going to be weird when a game comes out. Sorry, an army like that. And, I've been in Warhammer. I am not a lore or game expert, as everyone would know. But I have been in it and loved it since 3rd edition. And it's really weird to get an army in that I know nothing about. There's people out there who don't know anything about Warhammer Fantasy and know more about it than me.
Yeah.
It's just like,
that is weird.
I should probably learn. So, anyway, so just as Andrew suggested this, he said, why don't we just continue on, but look at it from a point of view of what else? Everything Cathay. I mean, we're going to be fumbling. People are going to be yelling at us in the comments, but please do what we get wrong and answer our questions because we're probably going to say more questions than answers, to be honest.
But I think you have a good stab at it. Like even just using because like Total War is kind of going to be a bit of a dictionary when it's coming to like what things actually mean and do. Because they've sort of done it with all the other races and it sort of crosses over.
Yeah, okay.
To a certain degree. So you kind of, what sort of like more anti-infantry and like what's more like anti-heavy and things like that. So you'd be like, like obviously.
So you can sort of use the other races that as parallels as to what Cathay should do. Is that what you mean? Yeah. Cool.
Well, yeah. And then, if you got units with great weapons, you can kind of work out what sort of role they're going to be doing. Like,
Yeah. Well, even in comparison, you obviously know what things go up against what. So that sort of gives you a pretty safe bet what the stat lines almost will be.
Yeah. I reckon.
Sort of. Pretty close.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I won't blow the lead, but in my research, there's a few things where I was just like, oh, okay. I don't know if we were just misled last week. Like, I don't know, like just with some of the units, sort of, they were talking about it's a high. What do they call it? What's it called? Like a strong. What's it called? Like an elite army that we're getting. And I'm like, okay, but yeah, ironically, there's a lot of stuff that's missing that is elite as well. Like, I don't even know if it is elite with what we're getting almost, if you know what I mean, on some of the units.
Yeah, the context of the rest of the list,
so it's actually kind of weird. So I'm like, okay, because I was envisioning after watching the thing that, the Jade Warriors are the, the hammers of the thing and all that sort of stuff, but they're sort of not. So it's interesting. Anyway, I'll probably be wrong on that. So
let's not expand
get into that.
Yeah, we'll get into that later, I guess.
Yeah. So, well, almost now, but let's do it. Should I just give a bit of a shout out to our patrons, but also we are live, and as usual in my great preparatory work, I only launched the live stream a few hours ago, so it's probably going to be a quiet one, but that's okay.
I think it's been the same case for the last 2 or 3 live streams, so that's fine.
Yeah. I think, but to be honest, some of the live stream just makes it easier for us to edit, hey, because we just don't at all. I mean, we don't usually edit too much anyway.
Do we edit?
You do still have to
apart
like,
from the ends, I guess, and putting on the intro and outro. But not like we're cutting out bits in the middle most of the time.
Yeah, very rarely. I think we had to do once when we said something like we shouldn't or something like that, but it wasn't bad. But yeah.
Still takes time, Josh. Still takes time.
That's right. But so anyway, so if you are watching or you jump in while we're chatting over the next hour and a half or so, or whatever it is, send us your questions, likes, all that sort of stuff. And after we sort of chat about the main topic, Cathay, we will probably give our patrons a one-on-one sort of shout out, so to speak. But before I do that, I just want to let everyone know that we do have a Patreon over on patreon.com/oldworldfanatics. I should use that time to bring up this. And you could join that along with, I think, 4 or 5 new patrons we got last week. So a big thank you to all those who watched our last episode on Cathay and then accused me of, or us of, probably me, of clickbait titles, but bugger you, it works. And I mean, God, if you're going to come on to a video you haven't seen and complain about that and then comment, you've just acknowledged that it worked. That's the ironic part about it. But anyway.
There were some tears. It was
amusing. It was funny. I think it was a genuine joke, though. I think it was a valid way of phrasing it, and I liked it.
I don't even think
somebody thought that was serious.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, I'll disagree accidentally. Sort of there is that it's almost. I think I firmly like if you bring back something you cancelled, you're admitting it was wrong. You made a mistake in some sense. So, okay, maybe you didn't make a mistake at that point of time with what you were doing at the time, but what they were doing at the time was a mistake. And I don't think they almost went back. They were going downhill. So don't tell me they haven't acknowledged their mistake. It's why all this stuff's back. That's why Warhammer Community's back. So
exactly.
I don't think it's clickbait. It's actually truth. Truth, man. Truth. But anyway, don't get me started on that. Yeah. But no, maybe that will be the title of the episode.
Just rapid speculation rather than leaks.
Yeah.
Anyway, cool. But yes, they will get a shout out at the end there. But otherwise, do appreciate likes, subscribes, and if you really want your question answered, which I think you will, because we've got like 3 people watching, you can always send us a super chat. But you I'm probably pushing it there.
Super chat.
So let's get on to the main topic, which is Grand Cathay. But after that, we do have, like I've said, patron shout outs. There's a little bit of news and some hobby if we get to it.
There is some hobby.
We missed that last week, so worth it.
That's right.
My daughter's texting me.
About Cathay.
There's quite a bit of hobby. I saw Gomo, you had that little teaser with your little ball boys. Yeah.
I've got a bit more than that. Can I just answer my daughter to say I'll sort it out later? Should I put her on the podcast? You guys will probably see her occasionally walk behind me. Anyway.
Yeah. That's
anyway, you think she'll know Monday nights of that?
I reckon that those ball boys can't wait for that.
Well, hopefully. I mean, I probably don't have great pictures of them, but I mean, you'll get the idea. Like I haven't,
Yeah, just the gist.
And I can run you through, what I've been doing.
How easy you found it, because I've got all the stuff waiting there. I'm just.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah. Cool. So, what do we want to bring up? Andrew? Do you want to intro it a little bit because you sort of brought it up last week? The topic.
Yeah. So.
And I will fiddle with some pictures while I'm in the background.
You fiddle with some pictures. So what I was thinking of doing, obviously, like everyone knows Cathay is coming out. And then I think Josh mentioned this as well, like hinting towards, maybe we could like go through some of the units that are out there. And I was like, that's pretty good. And then I found a link, and then Josh found a link. And then when we're talking about other units, we're talking about obviously from Total War, what other units they've got, because Total War is sort of seems to be quite accurate so far with what units we've seen and what units, how they're going to look and everything like that. And Total War usually as well for like Total War Warhammer, obviously. They're quite accurate with all their units for existing races. So I think there's a very good chance that a lot of the units you actually see currently in Total War, besides the ones that have been shown to us, they're probably, going to come out at some stage, in further editions or as part of the launch. Sometimes they do like the waves. So yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that's definitely, as we go, we can definitely talk about that because I feel like, and people have said it, they don't reckon this is the only thing coming out. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little bit more in the book, even if you don't get the models straight away. Who knows?
Seems very likely from the diversity of stuff out there.
Unless their schedule's so full in that second half, who knows? But
yeah,
cool. Anyway, I mean, I've got the article that Josh brought up. So there's a couple of things we could have a look through, and I should be able to flick back and forth. Let me just. I can. Cool. So.
Hey.
Oh, sorry, Josh. Hang on. Let me fix that up first. Well, actually, you can. While I
can
this.
Do it. That's fine.
Why can't I? Oh, that's annoying. You got to remove one, bring the other one up. So we have a Wayback Machine thing of Total War Warhammer 3 Grand Cathay roster reveal.
From what 2021, I think, from 4 years ago. I think this is when it was still under development a little bit. They just sort of did a reveal from Total War, like on their blog. And I found that link in Google, and I was like, but I just went to it, and it was like, the article's gone because it's so old and irrelevant now. I was like, no, I want to find this article because I'm looking for all these, I just wanted a nice overview of the different Cathay roster.
Yeah.
And everything on Reddit and all the other stuff was like, oh, this unit's shit, this unit's A+. This, it was just tier lists, and it wasn't telling me anything about what the character of all the units are.
Yep.
So, I was happy to find something like this because it actually gave a bit more sort of just
and I found
background.
Man, I'll have to try and remember all the links I went to, but the one up here is just if we want to look at some pictures. This is a video of someone who went through all the main ones.
In Total War.
Yeah,
awesome.
And just Total War with some of the pictures. Obviously, they look a bit dumb when you're just looking at the characters, but they're very one-to-one with what you've shown, Josh, there in that other link.
Yeah.
So we can do that. So, I mean, do we want to... Is it better to just jump into the units and then we can go back to some of the characters? Because I get it. I think the characters make me even more confused because then you have to know about the lore and the regions and the history a bit. Maybe we can hit the units up first and then see what.
And I've got the one in the background as well. So maybe if Josh wants to talk through these and you, Gomo, I can bring up maybe the ones that we've missed in the wiki because you know how this is obviously 3 years old. There might be a couple more in the wiki that I can bring up. I think it's got most of them. So I'll just hover back with the wiki ones.
Yeah, okay. I wouldn't mind just discussing the characters in terms of the sort of the majors here, though. I thought that was interesting. And I can't remember exactly what we've been given with the reveal now. I don't think we've actually been.
I don't think we've had much. I don't think Astromancer and Alchemist have really been mentioned.
Yeah, and so basically, I mean, the Alchemist is definitely someone who is more into the lore of metal. Obviously, there's 8th Ed. I think even in the game they got Plague of Rust and Final Trans. Man, when you hear those names, man, I just oh damn, that was a good time. Maybe not a good time if you're on the end of some of those like Final Trans, but I just like the 8th Ed magic. It was pretty cool. Over the top, but pretty cool. And then the Astromancer is, I guess the Law of Heavens type person as well. So obviously they've, the nation leans into a few of the winds of magic here, I guess. Plus, there's others, obviously they've got their own and stuff. But I thought this was an interesting one I can see why it's missing out of this launch one, given that the guys, the dragons and all that, they can all do a bit of magic. Is that right? Anyway. Like
I
the
think
other characters have a bit of magic in them.
Shajenja can do it, and I think there's a little bit of magic going around. Yeah.
So they're not magic-less, but they don't have these. We haven't seen, I should say, a dedicated magic.
I'm sure.
Model
I
yet.
suspect, though, I don't know. I'd be surprised if they don't go to launch without one of this type of mini. Really,
Right.
I reckon it'll be released before the whole wave becomes available,
Okay,
or at least
right.
in a second wave or something, like not that long afterwards, surely. Because
Yeah.
And this is sorry, I'll keep talking about this. Brought up with the Empire, not the Empire. You know how my gripe about the laws of magic and how it was always sold. Oh, the old world doesn't have the colleges, so therefore the magic is all like. And I'm like, these dudes have been around since the beginning of time, but they're already using law of metal and shit. Okay, it's not called law of metal, but the Empire don't have a friggin' what's it called? Like what's the word? Like they don't own the magic here. They don't get to label it. It's not.
It's not right. They don't have no influence in this area at all. You're right.
So it's a bit. It's not a negative on the old world and what they tried to do with the law, like as in the old world game. But I just feel you lost something when you went, because the Empire, because we don't have our 8 colleges now. All the magic's just demonology and all this sort of stuff. And I'm like, but the winds of the magic were there. It's just because you didn't know about it. These dudes have been knowing about it for thousands of years, millions of years, or whatever it is. Yeah, not millions, but thousands in this law. But
I guess so. I mean, I wouldn't take this as canon. Like this is pretty much just because it was written in the world of the 8th Ed stuff. I don't think they put it as canon even for the Total War guys.
But they obviously segregated themselves into the winds here. Do you know what I mean? They didn't need Magnus the Pious to help do that. They didn't need the High Elves. Well, maybe they did. Maybe I've missed that part in the law. That the High Elves did come over and still. Oh, they're older than the Elves, aren't they? These dudes. Anyway.
Are they?
Yeah, cool.
The dragons. Yeah, the dragons would be older.
Yeah,
fair enough.
The dragons.
Anyway, we'll get into the units. We'll jump back to some of those other guys. But yeah, do you want to run through some of those?
Yeah, so
I mean, the levies.
the levies, the peasants. That are they're not typical peasants, I guess. I mean, we didn't there was no hint of these guys whatsoever in the release. Just basically peasants with spearmen. That I think in Total War we've got some ability to withstand charges. They've got some extra defensive kit. And I think in the fluff here it does talk a little bit how they've probably got better morale than your typical sort of peasant levy, I suppose. So I'm just going to see if that's something that comes through in the game as well. But yeah, interestingly, there's these guys with the spears, and then in the later section with the missiles, there's actually peasants with bows and that type of thing too as well. I reckon there's a good chance they'll have the spearmen. I don't know about the crappy bow arm guys, whether or not they'll follow through with him, because there's quite a few different missile units options in the game, and there's a few of them I'm eyeing them like, I don't know if they'll put these through. A bit. Yeah, but I think.
I was just going to say, do you mean superfluous? Sorry, or do you mean like too many options that it gets confusing?
Yeah, both.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Both. Okay. Yeah. Does this article jump into those different missile ones as well? Is that what you said?
Does.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it does.
Obviously, we had the Jade Warriors, which are not on the picture there, but that's these dudes that obviously we're getting. I can't remember what. Geez, I can't believe I can't remember what happened last week. Or whatever.
What their rules are?
No, we definitely got the halberd dudes in those pictures? Was the shield sword and board dudes?
Yeah.
Oh, they were. Okay.
They were sword and board. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome.
Yeah, I think you got options for both in the kit, as well as female and male heads.
Yes. Sorry, it's the horse. The Jade Lancers only come with the one, don't they? They've just got the spear, whatever it is.
Yeah, I think
Jade
so.
Lancers. Yeah. Cool. That's what it was.
I think so.
Okay, so that's all legit. Pretty much what they use. So these are the guys that I was a bit more. I think I was sold from the video that they were like, the elite dudes, and they're obviously the line troops.
Yeah, and they're just line. Yeah, they're. I think that's what they meant by it's an elite army, in that these guys are your line troops, but they're already sort of semi-elite. I guess that's the impression they're trying to give.
So
like maybe they won't have any peasants available. Maybe these are going to, that's how you define it as an elite army, you know. Maybe these guys will be your basic troops and these are your Jade warriors. But I think they had a special rule because they sound like they're going to be pretty static. Something about if they don't move in that turn, then you re-roll ones on their armor save roll in combat.
Well, yeah, the video I was watching, I mean, the whole gameplay is that they're quite a reactive army, not a, we'll get into it. Some of the other troops too. It's not that they just go across and shock troop, which is kind of, the fact that I don't know, maybe there's a bit of lore changes here, given that she is coming into the old world and trying to lend a hand. Maybe that the strategy is going to be a bit different, but
it'll be just I'll be just interested to see if they have the yin and yang concept in Total War. That's in Total War as well, where I don't know, should I go through that a little bit now? Should I
do it, if you want.
That concept, because it's basically, I mean, it's sort of simple. It's basically that all the melee infantry, well, I think it's just all the melee troops they're all considered yang, and all the missile troops are considered yin. And if a yang unit is within a certain distance from a yin unit, they both receive buffs essentially. So you sort of get a synergy there in terms of how effective those units are. So I mean that would be quite interesting because it would force you, if you're playing, on tabletop, to keep those quite different role units in quite tightly together. Which will be it'll be interesting to see how that plays out on the table. Or
I wonder if are they just going to do a different type of detachment rule, or I don't know.
We'll play with it like that.
Yeah, I mean, the more you hear about this sort of synergy and these line troops and stuff, the more you think, God, they're going to have to bring it out with a bit of a infantry patch or something. You'd think, like, it just feels like you're probably not going to take half these people. It's done at the moment,
The structure of the Total War army looks really infantry heavy. But there are armies that you could play infantry heavy and then you don't need to, such as Empire. Even Brett's, you could play infantry heavy if you wanted, but no one ever does because it's ridiculous. But they never play with knights anyway. You just play with peg knights. So matter.
I think so. Entropy's just saying, didn't they imply the yin and yang with the two new magic laws? They did as well, because that is in the game as well. So everything down to the strategy.
And it did sound like that I agree, infantry. The way they phrased it sounded like yin yang would be limited to the magic laws. But I just brought it up as because it is a thing in the Total War, and it'd be interesting to see maybe if they do follow through with that or not.
It would be an interesting. Like if it was a totally overarching army rule somehow, which I guess they could. I mean, there is other, types of full army lists, like army rules like that. So, well, this is Hayne88 saying yin and yang is supposed to be a combination of the 8 winds of magic. I mean, it makes sense because, I mean, when you look at the laws, again, this is just another reason of my sort of rant before that, depending on the culture and background, you can easily see how the winds of magic are just, different races and stuff use it differently and don't even use all of them either, so it's, it'd be nice to see that a little bit more come out and not just be removed from the game because we don't have 8 colleges of magic, if you know what I mean. I like seeing the hints of it, which we do see it obviously in the current set, but any other comments before we move on that one? I mean, Demonic Teddy said missile and artillery castle army, it feels like. I know that's in Total War 100%, isn't it? Because that's what it said. Like, it's definitely reactive and missile focused, which I think most people did pick up on that with the reveal and went, where's the missile troops, So
hopefully.
Speak of the devil, here they are here.
Are you actually, if you pop through, you didn't hit the
sorry, no, let's talk about this.
So a whole bunch of,
I had it sitting there for ages and then I scrolled off on
it. The true elite.
So this is the one that I had it up
the
here.
The Celestial Dragon Guard, which I was completely unfamiliar with. I don't think I'd really heard of this unit at all. Until like this week.
Play Wood Elves and Brett's even on Total War. So what Total War were they on? Was that first?
3.
They've always been in there. Oh, these guys. The Cathay, was number 3.
Sorry, I mean your Bretts and did you have 3? Were you playing Total War 3?
I can't remember which one it was.
Oh, okay, right, okay.
I never played. I don't remember Cathay being a thing. I think it was 2. Now the
it must have been,
Total War 2.
Yeah, I think 2 was the best.
You didn't
one
see
was
this
good.
one then.
2 was probably best.
So these are I guess these are the just wheeled. They just got the halberds or spears as well.
I don't.
I thought it was just the halberd. Yeah,
it's just the halberd. Yeah. It's that cool looking halberd type thing.
Yeah.
So these guys are the elite ones, and they're obviously from the Dragon Emperor guy as well. So yeah, I guess this is the one that I'm looking at going, oh, I wonder if you'll see it pop up,
Yeah.
Just
the elite,
there's this
of the elite army.
Yeah. Just
so
give them that.
I think they will. There's not really. I mean, the thing is, there's not much that at the moment. Looking at the fluff in terms of how they play on the table, they're just like better than Jade Warriors. Like, there's not a specific thing that distinguishes them from them on the table, apart from that they just have better stats all round. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm sure they'll give them something interesting. But yeah, I don't really know. Can't deduce what it might be. Yeah.
And this, I don't even know if it's true or not, but I feel like the peasants are Bretonnian, they're human. I can see why you go. We're going to launch these box sets with all new plastics. Which ones do we want to build?
Yeah.
It's not that exciting to come out with peasants. So I get the reason why you sort of go, and plus people need more of it, all that sort of stuff. Like, I can totally see throw that out.
That's fair.
But then when you compare just the look, if you didn't tell me what was what, I'd argue that these guys sort of sit into that elf sort of look a little. I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, yes, it's Chinese, but the Jade Warriors have that real different look, just with the way that arm, that chin guard, whatever it is, the big collar. I don't know. I just feel like that they've done a good job of sort of making them look different, and I don't know if women in these guys as well, the elite, I guess it's probably, but you don't really. Does this talk about any of that?
They're not on my little page,
anything, are they? No, okay. I thought maybe.
Well, I don't think it matters considering that like they've got female Bretonnian knights now. Like, it just seems like that's the new norm.
True. Yeah, they could just get rid of that. But but that was sort of one thing I thought about, that maybe the Jade Warriors just look potentially like a better miniature or a bit more distinct from your normal human armored up dudes, and maybe that was a reason why they went, no, let's do them instead. Plus obviously you have the Jade Cav as well.
With the Jade Lancers too, so maybe there's a bit of a theme there where it's sort of keeping it all consistent, whereas if you had the Dragon Guard and then the Jade Lancers, it looks a little bit everywhere.
No, I think
it's not as unified. So I think you're right. There's probably some designer decisions about what they release on the first wave, but I feel the more I read through this, the more I'm like, it's got to be a second wave. This can't be all the minis that's coming.
Nah, 100%. So then we get into the missile troops. That's right. There's no other infantry there.
And the infantry, the missile stuff is. I mean, the peasant arms could just be there as an option for the peasants to get bows. I guess I guess that wouldn't be a hard thing to just put in like that. The more I think about it, but then we've got like the Iron Hail gunners.
Sorry, I'll switch back to your
which is really quite cool.
Yeah, they are cool.
Like, it reminds me a little bit of the band, the Bretts. That escapes me. What is it? Those bandit guys in the rest lot for the exile list.
Oh, that. God, yeah. I thought of the dwarf iron drakes when I saw these guys initially, but in terms of the gun, I don't know how it works, but it's just like a short blunderbussy one.
Yeah, it looks like they've also got blunderbusses. They're pretty vulnerable. Otherwise, they're quite glass cannony, no armor. But if they get into the right, and I imagine they'll probably be skirmishers, like they'll just be running around, and then firing off these short range sort of blunderbussy things. But if they get hit, they'll just be deleted, I suspect. But they're kind of a very cool little unit that we probably don't really have.
And they have these
equivalent of
them here. Yeah, this
really?
is them. If you can see that sort of cool little dragon sort of gun thing.
I'm pretty confident these will make it into the tabletop. I reckon these got some real theme, and just being so short range, I think it would fit well with the army's design as well.
Yeah.
Because if everything's long range, then it sort of just becomes a gun line, whereas these guys wouldn't feel like a gun line.
You'd have to actually engage with them.
Engage. And it works well with the infantry heavy army when you've got lots of blocks. Then we got crane gunners again. I was like, what are these guys? Like, I'm so unfamiliar with any of these units. And the more I read about it, the more like it doesn't really mention Jezzails in this little profile.
No,
it just
says
all they
are, right? Here they are.
Yeah. Mighty crane gun requires 2 people lift, set up, and fire. 1 is positioning the trigger, ready to sight and shoot anything in a massive range. Then you've got a tower shield on which the gun rests. Well, that sounds like a Pavis. That's pretty Jezzail-y.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. And the Cities of Sigmar have a similar sort of figure, don't they? With that sort of shield and the dude shooting out of it.
Oh, the big one, Quite, big sort of
is it really big, is it? Oh, it's a cannon. I thought there was just little people doing it too, but maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, maybe they've got, there is a shield, like a smaller shield, but then there's the big cannon's got kind of like a big shield at the front too. But there's a small version.
No, they're cool. Those are interesting, and I suspect they'll make it in. The next two are 2 types of crossbowmen.
Sorry, I'm just going to drop this because I was about to say this and someone's just answered it. So Entropy said taken from the Skaven, and then Haynes says in law the Skaven learned Jezzail tech from the Cathay. Now, if you go, and I don't know when that was, but I know there is that time
I love
frame.
it. This is a live stream because there's so much we don't know.
There's the bit I'm gonna get. I'd love it. I'm gonna get corrected so much on these comments. There's this thing about like the monkey, not the monkey god, the monkey king overtakes Cathay, and I think at the end of not right now where we are in Old World, but sort of in the future a little bit. But he makes like Clan Eshin, like he makes them like agents in the government type thing. However you say it, I don't know. Like they actually, so he's like, I don't know what they're doing with the Skaven, but they're hanging out with them. So I wonder if is that where
like assassinating their like rivals and shit like that.
But I mean that timeline of when Clan Eshin sounds like it's sort of closer to 8th Ed. Before the 8th Ed time frame kicks in. So it's just funny. But there's definitely these ties from Skaven. I'm wondering, just to go back onto sort of the future a little bit, because we'll probably touch on it, is like future of the Old World and stuff. As they explore more of these areas, does it give you more of a reason to, bring these legacy guys back a little bit as well as you expand out? Like Mark's saying here, we've got a hell of a lot. Of stuff to get into 48 journal pages. I wonder if there may be 2 Cathay journals. And I mean, they're going to have to bring, there's so many more figures here or units that are not going to be around. So in the first wave.
So
I don't know what's in that journal though. But I don't know. We'll see what's in it. It'd be hectic if there's 2 journals and then suddenly they release more books for the legacy stuff and everything. And suddenly we've gone from like, oh no, you only need 2 books to play, guys. The rule book and the Force of Fantasy. Suddenly you need a stack of like 6 different books.
Well,
turning into 40K.
Yeah, I was gonna say. It's just, I mean, I don't know. I don't follow as much now, but what Space Marine books do you buy when you're like? I don't get it. It has like Space Marine Codex, and there's another Codex that's sometimes a Space Marine Codex, but like, like if it's Blood Angels, do I use a Space Marine? Like, it's confusing as shit, and it's going to be end up like that way. So Games Workshop know how to do that.
Yes, Lumineth situation.
Okay.
But not that familiar with it.
No, but I mean, that's. As long as they're 48 pages like that and pretty cheap, I'd be okay with that if it brings new stuff in like that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't have a particular complaint about it. It's just funny that that's how it was originally marketed as like, oh no, I just got the 2 books, whatever. But inevitably changing, which is a sign that it's expanding, and we shouldn't really complain about it because just stuff is growing.
Sorry, I'll throw a question. Do you guys ever conceive, think that we might go back to getting like full army books at some point then, or do you think given it's SDS and they don't do that?
I reckon it'll happen.
Really? Okay.
Probably not in this ed. Second edition. I think it could happen.
Wow. Yeah.
Especially if the legacy, I guess it depends on the legacy armies. Depends if those get refreshed properly, and something. If you've got 16 factions plus 17, you could have 20 factions if they release Kislev and I don't know, Vampire Coast, or whatever. Suddenly, that's a lot of factions to be fitting in books. I mean, maybe you have 3 books, I guess, but
well,
seems like a lot.
I mean, I do miss the code. Like, I never used to call them codexes, but now sometimes it pops out. I do most because just the amount of artwork and lore and and paint stuff, and it's just your army book. There's something special about that. But at the same time, it has been really nice to go have a game where you have 2 books and you have all the rules initially. Obviously, when the Arcane Journals, you need more, but I always felt like in 8th, if you didn't have the army book and you did download it or something, it's like scrambling to know what the bloody army did. And then I agree. So I do like that. Sort of like both. Nice. Now, Mark just said, they said we had 5 journals, correct? One of which we know is Cathay, another must be Kislev. We could say either Norska, Caustor's Ogres, I think, leaves a spare book likely to Cathay, I reckon. So what's that in reference to? Do you guys know? Like, we had 5 journals. What does that mean?
I'm not sure.
What do you mean, like you need 5 in another book, maybe? Is that what he's talking about? Because you have 5 in the Force of Fantasy. I don't know. I'm not sure, Mark. Let us know if we've missed a rumor. I might have.
I feel like he's referring to a rumor, and I don't know what it is.
I spent hours looking at army books in my youth, but I think Arcane Journals are here to stay. Yeah, I probably agree. I think. Look, and I won't say I'll miss. I don't follow 40k too much, but I did buy the 8th, 9th, and 10th codexes for orcs just because I like them. And bloody hell, I swear 90% of it's copy pasted from like one to the next. Like at some point, you can only write so much about the history of the same thing you released 2.5 years before. Or 3. So it sort of waters itself down. A little bit, so cool. So missile troops here, Josh.
The missile troops. So now I'll just hit them both at the same time because they're kind of similar. So we've got 2 types of crossbowmen. It's the Jade Warrior crossbowmen, and then we've also got Celestial Dragon crossbowmen. It's like
so we do have like the souped up militia dudes, but they're just not. Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I don't get that.
I don't get that either.
You don't have them in cav form, but you have them with
powers. They don't have cav form, but they have
crossbows.
A crossbow.
So, I feel like this is more maybe something that came out of how Total War works more, where they just like having different, levels of the same sort of archetype, I guess. So this is like really good elite crossbowmen, I suppose. But I don't think there's a place for that really in the tabletop as much. The Jade Warrior for sure.
Does it? Is there any other army that has like 2 levels of like crossbowmen? Like you get it with the bows a bit, where you have like the elves, and then you have like their real elite, like the Way Watchers and the Sisters of Avalon. And you generally don't take them in massive hordes, but sisters you probably do. You don't really see it with like crossbows and stuff, do you? You don't sort of see that.
Nah, you see a lot of different weapons. So like dwarves, you've got like your handguns and your crossbows, and like you go to like your Iron Drakes. It's probably about the only, but they're not. It's not the same unit. It's not like like these guys.
Yeah, and they don't have the thing is like the Jade Warrior one. I guess their distinguishing feature as crossbowmen in general, and that mentions it in there, is actually they have a reasonable amount of armor already. So like they're heavily armored. I think they're sporting a shield, the Jade Warrior crossbowmen.
Yeah, they are.
So they're actually quite a survivable like shooting troop. And then suddenly you're like, oh, okay, cool. So they're actually okay in combat a bit.
Yeah,
they're like Sea Guard. And then suddenly, so then you got these even more elite guys. It's like, well, where are you distinguishing them?
Turn it into a shooting army if you got there.
Yeah, and it does lead into a more shooting army too. If they distinguish themselves being like more like higher BS, something like that, like just they're better at Mike or something. You're a bit concerned really by the balance of the list.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, Haven 80. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm probably saying his name right. How do you say that? Haven 88. I can't remember. Anyway, he's saying Jade crossbow is sort of like good shooting, bad melee, whereas the whatever you call them, the Celestial Dragon crossbowmen, great shooting, okay melee, good armor. So I mean, I get it. It's
so more
just
of a
when
proper
you
hybrid.
cross-reference it with, then you've also got peasant bowmen, and you got those other gunners as well. 4 units of shooting, ballistic skill shooting. Plus with options, like some can put shields on, some can't. It becomes quite busy, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Is there still lots of other stuff coming? Huh?
Do you want to cover, Mark just sort of answered us on some of those questions about the core thing. Actually, sort of this one, he sort of said it's...
Oh, I didn't see that.
Sort of, I think Rob and Val mentioned it on Squarebase when they changed the map suddenly, but it's only a rumor. And what it is referring to like...
Watch that video.
That there might have been about 5 other journals coming out or something.
Oh, based on
it is all very
map change. Rumors. Yeah, okay. Yeah, right. Yeah, because that's right. They did change those icons or add stuff in. Yeah, I saw that.
So before we carry on, there is another one in the wiki, which I didn't think was in there. Did you have the Nangol
this one?
Grenadiers? Did you have that in your list?
No, I don't believe. I don't. Are they under a melee?
Grenadiers.
Which one are they?
Yeah.
Oh.
Let's have a look.
Oh, it was the one that I linked.
No.
They're basically just a grenade throwing unit.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know how the grenade's going to work, obviously, but it's.
I did see those somewhere.
Attacks. And I think it's got like it says like Heaven's Flash. So it might have like some form of a special rule to the grenade. I don't know.
Now, these were in Total War. Like this thing, I guess the article Josh has is probably slightly older, isn't it? Like if it was pre.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's pre-release.
That's what I was going to do. If there's anything in the wiki, I'll just bring it up that we missed. And that was one of them.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah. That's interesting though. Like, how does that? I mean, interesting to see how they work with the with the Ironhound gunners, the blunderbuss people. If you have those going and the grenadiers, like they're sort of similar roles. Interesting one.
I wonder if that could be a dual kit, something like that, or maybe you just whack. I mean, are they just throwing bombs like hand grenades? Maybe just hanging off the back of the model and use them as both. I don't know.
Maybe.
You got to make a lot of plastic if you're doing like 20 different unit types.
One of every unit. Yeah.
It
does.
Getting onto some cav here and chariots, which is interesting. Yeah. So we did have the.
There is a chariot. Yeah.
There. Let me just jump over to. So I do have like some light cav here with the peasant horsemen. So they're very much like the yeoman type dudes and stuff. Is that right?
I think so. Yeah, they'd just be really your basic peasant horsemen. Redirectors.
Are these missile troops at all, or they're just full spearmen? That's it.
I think they're just spearmen in the game.
Yeah, in the game, I don't think they have any.
It just says melee cav.
Yeah,
and they're under the yang.
I'm going to get that confused.
So they're melee. I know if you don't,
Then we've got the Jade Lancers, which I guess come on. Do they come on two? Oh no, they're just different here. Okay, so we got the Jade Lancers.
Yeah.
If you wanted a mnemonic, it'd be the Ying has an I on the second letter, and so does missile.
Okay, cool.
There you go. There you go.
That actually works for me too, because I was thinking yin yang. I don't know. I think of like missile troops first, because like you shoot and then you fight. So yin, yang, maybe. I don't know. But I don't get the yin yang, good, bad, negative. I don't know if yin yang is like that. It's just different, isn't it? There's no one's not evil and one's not good. Hey, it's just different.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
There's a lighter and darker side. I think one's necessarily bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're completely uneducated in that regard.
Yeah. Actually, I probably should have brought this up at some point or whatever, but I was watching one of the ones I was looking at was a lady YouTuber who does a lot of like medieval armor history and all this sort of stuff, and she's doing a Cathay one. I don't know if you've seen that one. Because it's pretty recent. Cool. It came up on the things, and she went through all the armor, what they've done, what's sort of legit, how the mix is like over the, obviously because Chinese history is so long, there's obviously joined a lot, like stuff that's in totally different eras really, but they've made it look cool or whatever. And like pretty positive about some of the, how deep they go into researching some of this stuff. So it looks legit, but even though it's not legit because it's fantasy, it doesn't have to be legit. It's kind of interesting. So
no, that sounds awesome.
I'll link that as well if people want to.
Yeah. I only watch that British guy that goes through like all the British, the armor and the guns and the bows and all that. That'd be awesome if there's like a medieval Warhammer sort of version of it.
Well, yeah, she doesn't specifically obviously just do Warhammer stuff. She must have just covered it, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The one that I found fascinating was it's called Mountain Armor, and I know it's a tangent, but this is Cathay for you, which is actually what's on the terracotta giant guy. It's and it's named Mountain Armor because like all the little things on him, and we'll see it when we get there, look like little mountains. But it's actually the historians. Again, comment guys when we get it wrong. Historians have looked this over and over and gone, it can't be real armor because all it's going to do is like when you stab someone, because of the way that the little mountains, like you're basically funneling it into the person, like because it's all like if you imagine like it's all like little square things coming out with points, but if you're pushing in, then it's just actually you're gonna slot into one of those grooves, and actually it's not a very good armor. But then what they're saying is it's probably more ceremonial armor and only like really, it's not actually used for fighting. And so it would be only used for like, the emperors and just, dress ceremony and stuff.
Yeah,
that's why they probably put on the terracotta giant because it's supposed to be like it's almost like a statue. It's not actually needing real armor, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Although it was pretty cool if that's true. Obviously, these are all just it probably is this.
Yeah. Speculative, yeah.
So much good stuff with this this release to learn. So so then the cool ones I thought. The Great Longmar Riders.
Woo. Did we just skip the Jade Lancers, by the way?
Oh, so I did because I've seen them. I had them up.
I did want to say on the Jade Lancers. We hit the Jade Lancers. They're the second unit that's been released physically. We've just gone through like 8 different units. It's just so much diversity in this list. I had no idea. But anyway, we're familiar with the Jade Lancers. Heavy cab. Next. Hit the Longmar.
These look good.
Yeah. They look really cool. Well, were they long horse? Is that what it was on?
Yeah,
what was the Mandarin translation or something?
Whatever it is, dragon horse. Yeah.
There was a comment from last week. I can't remember already what I translated.
Do you think, is there any possibility of modifying these and using him as like Pegasus? Or is just going to look too different? If you calmed out the horns and stuff.
I don't think you can. The wings are too dragony already. Like they're made of skin. They're not made of feathers. And that's already enough to put me off.
Yeah. But they're definitely that, like you guys said last week, they're definitely that. They're sitting in that 40s or 50 range, in terms of they're definitely the Pegasus rider.
What do you think, Josh?
Could you
give that creature what you did?
I don't even know. I don't even know.
Do you reckon you could handle the anatomy?
Well, this has got like
I definitely can't. Look how many different limbs this thing has.
Yeah, okay.
And it's a dragon as well.
Yeah. It's like a rideable flying version of a platypus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something straight out of Zench.
The old Longma.
Crazy.
Josh, can you de-sex my Longma?
I'll just get lost inside there.
Yeah. I didn't even know she was a girl.
It's hilarious.
Oh my God.
So out of all of them, I feel like, and just because the game plays a certain way, I feel like we need to see these guys. I know we've got the character guy.
We've got the character guy, but they're coming for sure. Like, they're gonna be coming.
Surely.
There's so much more flavor. Like, the blocks are cool, but this is the type of thing that gives the army flavor. You need them in the army. And I feel they will form a very similar role to Peg Knights. They're probably going to be like a heavy version of a Peg Knight, I reckon. Like, they'll be a little bit more, probably hit a bit harder, unfortunately.
Let's just take away the worry of where the balance is and the infantry shit and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that.
Yeah, if you were speccing this guy up and comparing it to the Peg, how's it differ? And AI, like, is it better? Like, because obviously it's got furious charge as well. It's like a half dragon. Like, what other rules on top of the Peg rules does this thing have? You know, like,
you asking me to speculate?
Yeah, speculate.
I reckon it'll be higher strength. I reckon it'll be strength 5. It might even have an additional baseline attack as well. I reckon it's going to be absolutely brutal, and it's probably what are the pegs? It could. I don't think it'll have a higher armor, but it might be tougher. I don't know, man. I think these guys are going to be pretty hectic. It's going to be worse than pegs.
Yeah, what did Edgerby just say? He said, that's what Peg Knights need, more armor, tougher. Perfect. I know. This is like, better mount, worse rider. Okay, yeah.
Oh, okay. A lot of comments in that regard. Yeah, that will be strong. I'm not sure about the rider. That's all plausible. Well, the Furious Charge is coming through the rider. So that's interesting. Yeah.
True. Yeah. Oh, do we? Hang on.
No.
But when I listen with AirPods, someone has a constant squeaking through their microphone. Here's Lord Vader. I have no idea.
Give them
Oh, no. Give them breath attacks.
No idea. Oh, my God.
Yeah, let me know if it's me. I'll check mine.
I can't hear anything. Maybe it's our audio thing, like cutting any weird noises out. Yeah,
it could be. I'm not sure.
Let us know. Maybe I'll listen to it back on my AirPods tomorrow, and I'll try to work it out, Lord Vader. Sorry about that. Oh, God. He said it might be Henry.
Just randomly.
What is actually constantly squeaking through their mic? I don't know. I'm moving around on my chair a bit. I was wondering if that was it. So who knows? I want these guys because I think they'd be awesome in the army. I just don't. I'm worried about pegs.
In the current state of the game, I'd be a bit terrified about unleashing them into the world, into the greater world, because they're just going to dominate.
Oh, God. Yeah. Anyway, we don't have to worry about it. I'm assuming that will be. I'm not worried about that at all, technically.
No.
But
and right now we're just having fun looking through the lists and what they possibly could be. Anyway, the character of them is great, and I love the idea of it. I like the orange and green.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Totally.
I think it's it's a really unique sort of color theme.
It's not as scary as the paint job that they did on the Shingao. How do you say it? Shingawan Lord. How do you say that? Shigengan Lord.
Shigengan Lord. Yeah.
Yeah. That one. That real orangey, almost translucent green, and I'm like freaked out with that. Whereas
that's what I was talking about.
That was just red. Oh, I thought you meant the one I had up on the screen there. I was like, I can probably paint that one.
Well, I kind of meant both, but
a bit more solid. Colors there.
Yeah. I think it's more the angle on the image.
The other one, I haven't got it on me. Yeah.
The other one's very pretty.
Yeah. The way they painted it just looks magical as well, which is really cool. Okay, so is that all the? Didn't it say chariots, or is this something else? Oh, okay.
It did, but I don't think it really. Yeah.
I think I know what they're talking about. Okay.
Hmm.
Goes on to some constructs. Our terracotta sentinel. Plus the other ones. Is there a jade one and all that sort of stuff? Anything you want to talk about with those guys?
Not really. I mean, I
I
was. They're going to be quite large. I was interested because I was listening to the stream earlier, and they were talking about how the different sentinels, depending what they're made of, you can have different effects.
Yeah.
And they said one was the terracotta one that had regen. Granite has better armor, and then they said the warpstone sentinel has a toughness debuff on nearby enemy troops. I'm like, a warps, like how? It's interesting because that makes me wonder how intertwined Skaven stuff is.
I'm gonna come on. People are gonna have to give us the answers here because is it the other dragon? What's his name? The guy who is on the west coast. I'll call it west coast. He's on the west side. He hangs out around the Great, it's near the Great Moor. And Warpstone. It's the Iron Dragon.
Is it the crazy one? The chilled.
So I'm probably got it wrong, but there's one of them that is hanging out on that side.
I was reading up on that.
I don't know, ogres and Skaven air, warpstone bits, and it's so I don't know. Might have got that 100% wrong, but you get what I mean. Definitely, Josh. There's going to be elements of Skaven and all that other weird stuff, and there's mentions of, like I said, the Great Moor, ogres. I mean,
Tripper says the terracotta giant's just a heap of rats in a trench coat.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's just telling me you got to bring the legacy back, otherwise it just won't bloody work.
It's got to bring it back. Agreed.
And one cool thing on the animation, which I should have video of this, is as this guy's moving, see the little dust there? All the dust is coming around him and stuff. I was looking at it going, I wonder how you could model some of that to make him look.
I was going to ask if you wanted to model that.
Well,
how could you possibly
I don't know. Could you use really fine, I don't know, cotton wool almost, and then use the effects powder over it, sort of?
I swear, people are looking at it, they're like, "What the fuck is that?" That's what I would. I don't know. I reckon it'd be so hard to model.
You'd have to do it in an animated state, because that's what it looks like when he's in the video. He's moving around, and it's almost like the dust's coming off him. It looks cool, but
it is cool. And if you could do it, it'd look really dynamic.
Yeah.
Oh, Michael's
more
back.
so than the original.
Rat Dragon, his mate's going.
But yeah, as Andrew says, it couldn't be harder than what raindrops. Well, I think it would be harder than raindrops, to be quite honest, because raindrops, there's a few different good techniques out there. Don't want to go into it right now. I don't know how you could model a dust cloud. I really don't know. I managed to get remember I had the photo of my half tank and it had the steam coming out of the chimney thing. So I was surprised to get a decent looking steam cloud for.
Well, they do it with the trains.
I'm not sure about a dust cloud.
It's not as. It's a little bit more direct when it's like a steam engine, like on a train set. You would have seen that heaps where they've sort of tried to model some of that.
Yeah, because it's more solid. It's easier to model because it's sort of a bit chunkier. Whereas a slightly translucent cloud of dust. I don't know how. I don't know where you would start with it. If you maybe you start with something clear and then you get a little bit of dust in there and then you sort of have this, I don't know. I just don't know. Let's move on.
Oh God, yeah. Mark Langley's trying to give us a tip there, but man, we'd have to look at that. Crazy. Anyway, so I want to bring up the Sky Lantern, because you got this Sky Lantern, which we've seen, and how good does it look? Obviously, not the one I've got up here, but the other one. But they've also got the other guy, the other version of it.
Ah, yeah, I was quite intrigued about this. The first thing I did when I saw that they had a second one called the Sky Junk?
Yeah,
is that what it's called?
Yeah, something like
why is it? Why is it the Sky Junk? By the way, it's such a bizarre.
Yeah.
I don't have a picture of it.
But The first thing I did was I went back to all the stuff and was like, is there any mention of the Sky Lantern being a dual kit? It doesn't seem
there
to be
wasn't,
the case.
wasn't. And you could,
No.
I mean, it couldn't be with the amount of plastic that is
No.
involved in the actual
No.
lamp bit. Hey,
Yeah.
But I wonder if this will be something that you'll see pop up down the track again if it's different, and it is worth it. I don't know. They could easily throw a different version, but you'd have to buy a whole new different kit, like obviously with this different balloon type. But yeah.
Because this
Probably
would be
not worth
larger
it,
as
but-
well, isn't it? This is larger than a lantern, I think. Like,
Yeah, it's got another.
it sounds like
balloon
it's got more guns and that
Yeah, so I
whole
think
extra
this is
balloon
the
on top.
360 firing one, and the other one's not 360 firing. I don't think.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, guys.
bit
Cool. So
different.
junk.
Oh
Junk
yeah,
is
yeah.
As in an
No, I knew
old-
that, but I just was trying to
old
work
Chinese
out how
traditional
you call
sloop or
this
ship.
a junk.
Cool.
Because I thought it was, yeah.
A sky junk, a boat in the sky,
Hmm.
just like the land ship, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
thought
cool.
junk was referring. Yeah, I don't know why I was referring to all the different sails and stuff that was on the thing, but yeah, okay, it's just the blue ship.
Yeah.
Well,
Those
similar
guys.
thing,
Yeah, I could not get my head around that. So yeah, nice to know that. Makes a lot more
Yeah.
sense now.
And then we get. So is that's technically the chariots? Is that right? Well, sort of.
No. There is
onto
a chariot. It's past this
Yes,
bit.
there
It
is.
hits.
That's
There is a
right.
chariot. There's a.
It's the celestial hurricane, but we'll get there in a minute. Let's talk about the. Hang on, don't look at those first. Oh no, I've screwed it
What
around.
have you got?
Bring your.
What
one
have you
back.
got?
Oh, I bet
Okay.
people have seen it anyway because I kept skimming it. It's hard to see. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, so this cannon that we're getting and the two different war machines. But the cool thing I didn't realize until I saw Total War was it's actually pulled by cows or oxen, whatever it is. I would love if they gave me these guys.
But
That is.
How cool is the sky? Like the lanterns there, it would match up with the big lantern. And plus,
Yeah.
you can move
Oh,
around
yeah.
quicker.
I like that.
I think it'd be cool if they'd done that, but I sort of get
I
why
reckon it
not. I
would.
mean, it's a lot of extra figures for technically nothing. And what are
As
the
opposed
oxen
to-
doing when you're actually shooting that thing? I'm assuming they're not standing in front of it. So, yeah.
Makes
but-
it so realistic, but it's giving some
Yeah.
realism to fantasy.
Well, we know what
opposed to
Josh
the
likes
ogre.
to do. So I'm assuming he'll be eagerly
I love
adding
me-
some
I love-
cows or some type
Yeah.
of.
There's nothing more I like than livestock on a tabletop war game. I love livestock. I had them whenever I can.
Yeah. Need more caramel. But yeah, no, I see why they didn't bring it in, but it is, and to be honest, they've done such a good job with the character of the other people working on the war machine that I'll
Yeah.
excuse it that they've left the cows out, or the oxen, whatever it is for now. But no, it's good. Yeah, do you want to cover the actual chariot?
Ooh.
It's
Yeah, I
talked about here. I'll go to your text thing because it probably tells us a little bit about it.
The war
I don't know
compass.
that much about it. Isn't it like a little bit of a mount for the alchemist or the astromancer? I think the astromancer maybe.
Would be because celestial, isn't it? Is
Yeah,
that heaven?
celestial. Yeah, cool.
it's- I swear it's a celestial hurricanum. Can we see it come back? That's except in Chinese form. That'd be a good extra model in a wave 2.
Mm,
No way
Yeah,
too.
man,
Yeah,
spellcaster.
that would be good.
yeah. Does it get pulled by oxen as well?
Yeah,
in the
I
game?
think so. Yeah. Oh,
Surely.
I think there's a picture. Yeah.
Oh, you're doing a
Yeah.
photo? Yes, I was hoping to get a photo of it. Great.
Yeah. And it's
The
got
more
3
cows.
lanterns. So
It's got 3
let's get this
lanterns.
one.
Ooh,
Yeah, let's get this one.
ultimate.
Love it.
Yeah, this has to come out.
It's got to come out. Like it'd be hilarious. Like some of these kits have so much character. I'd love to see them on the
Yeah.
table. I'm already in love with the stuff they've released already. But if they put out some of this other stuff,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd be very, very hard
Oh,
to
so
resist,
that's-
especially the
That's
Longma.
it, yeah.
I really like the Longma
Oh,
guys.
Yeah. So so that's pretty much everything. Oh, well, Andrew, is it? Did we miss anything? From
Oh,
Total
what?
How much did we miss, Andrew?
what haven't we? There's actually quite a bit.
Oh wow.
So there's these are war beasts, Onyx Crowman, which is kind of like a crow with legs, as in like kind of humany legs. Sorry.
Oh,
And it looks like they got
like harpies,
sort of attacks, kind of harpy,
kind of, but with different wings.
Oh, there's celestial lions.
But it's kind of like crow. It's kind of like a crow top half sort of thing. Like, it's like half humany crow.
Human, temple dogs.
There's a lot of other stuff in here.
Yeah. Where are we? So there's the jet lion is a construct. So the big giant Chinese lion. It's got the jade lion, which is another construct, like another big, statue.
Yeah.
There's the celestial lion, which actually looks like a real, but it's kind of like a griffin. So it's like a lion head and the bird's body sort of thing. So these are all large monsters.
Constructs. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
There's a great moon bird. Kind of looks like a big phoenix, I suppose.
Wow.
From High Elves. You've hit the War Compass. You've hit the Sky Junk. There's the...
So you're talking about additions of content
yeah. There's a Zangu war drum. Yeah, also pulled by oxen.
Celestial Lion.
What is this? So MC Wonga
we haven't even covered the characters either.
Apparently, there's a GW reservation form. I'm not familiar with this form.
What? Oh, is that for you to actually do the work?
At the combat company. Yeah.
Oh, right. Oh, what? No. Oh, just combat company. Yeah, but that doesn't. Yeah. That's not coming that close, is it? Is it?
Surely not.
Because that's one of the ones where you just put your interest down, hey, and that way they can try and do GW that they need X, Y, Z. Yeah, okay.
Maybe they're just taking.
I don't know how much of that other stuff, because there's a lot of stuff in this wiki now that's been released since then, which is it's a bit overwhelming, to be honest. All these different things. Are there can we pick a few in there that are more likely, do you think, to end up on the table? Like is of the stuff in that original article? I reckon most of that will end up on the table.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Hang on. Okay, sorry. You mean in the Wikipedia one, not
the wiki. Because there's so much stuff in the wiki.
Yeah.
There'd be potentially another
a bit overwhelmed.
That's a little bit, because I think wasn't there mentions of Neokara and stuff as well, and maybe that was a different video of watching. I feel like they're both very ancient. Like nations. I wonder if there's a little bit of constructy stuff that might actually, like this celestial line or something.
Yeah.
Because that's right. I have seen that. This is a potential, I reckon.
So a lot of these are like patches.
Oh yeah,
patches and DLCs and things like that.
Yeah, so that's kind of pretty.
Yeah, they might be.
And obviously, it goes back on the other one, but the chariot, that celestial thing's got to come out for sure. I want
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah. But it's mainly just war beasts and
some
constructs,
of these sort of
isn't it?
Smaller ones like temple dogs, some of these small things. Because you probably don't have. Well, right now you've got nothing cheap to fly across the other side of the board and take out war machines, for example. The only thing it's going to be is those peasant horsemen if you get them.
Or your crowmen if they come in.
But you'd have to add some of them in.
Yeah.
But I was going to ask Josh though.
Well, your Longmark could do it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Going back to your article though, I know you said most of it will come, but I don't know. Like, what do you reasonably think if there was going to be missing ones that do pop out as, hey, by the way, this is also coming? What do you think that's going to be in that Arcane Journal? So not like a wave 2, so to speak, but I'm saying it's coming out with the original orders. We just haven't been shown it yet. Do you reckon anything else? I added this article.
Sorry, that would be included, or would?
Yeah, that would. Like, do you think there's some stuff? That's
in the
Hey, and by the way, we also are giving you this.
Yeah.
Oh, I think a lot of this will be. I would expect. I'd be surprised if it's only what's been released so far that's in the book. Is that what you're?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
Is that what you're thinking?
I don't know. Even peasants and everything.
Longmas.
It'd be interesting if the peasants weren't there and they just like, yeah, this is an elite army, no peasants kind of thing.
Because they've travelled all the way. Yeah.
But I reckon the Celestial Dragon stuff, the Ironhail Gunners, the Crow Gunners, I reckon those will all be there.
Wow. And the opposite Longmire. Yeah. Wow.
The Jade, I reckon the Jade Warriors with the crossbow option will be there because they're interesting with their armor and stuff, and they'll sort of they have a specific role there. Peasant. The question is, if they have no peasants on feet, where will there be peasant horsemen as well? Like, or is that just cut out? You know, if they no fast cab, that kind of thing. You know. I'm optimistic that they'll actually have a lot of this army in there.
Wow. Okay, cool. Well, you've been right with your other predictions, so that'd be interesting. I know, as Michael says, he suspects it's going to be quite limited compared to Total War, which is fair enough. And Mark says, pretty sure this isn't all of launch 1 that has been revealed. Expect more updates at future cons before late summer. I agree. There's going to be at least some. So I feel like we are missing some. Yeah, this is good. Crossbowmen and wizards on foot, probably a lock.
Yeah.
I still think those unit of those Longmire, they're going to fly off the shelves. Given that people know how well Peg.
Well, have they released the Longmire? Like, they haven't actually released. Like, they've just got the Shugenja on Longmire.
Yeah.
They haven't actually.
They look cool too.
Or anything like that. I reckon there'll be 3 more plastic kits in wave 1.
Yeah. Okay.
And there might be a dual kit in there. Like, so I reckon there'll be a good number of more units coming.
Yeah.
Cool. Did you know also, if you go back in that this Wikipedia, I think it's this one, there's actually like pictures of some of the first Cathay models in Warhammer.
Ooh.
Oh,
really?
Oh, I don't think
So these are converted.
Oh, so pretty.
I think they're converted anyway. Look, little dudes there. But they had like. They're White Dwarf conversions, okay, so they're not really, but it's just funny.
They're not official,
actually.
but
they were in White Dwarf, so there you go.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's that Wood Elf bottom, isn't it, or whatever it is?
Yeah,
Wood Elf is a Wood.
Yeah, it is. Yep, it's a Wood Elf mage bottom.
And that's the mage, I think, on the right with the. Is that the mage?
Oh yeah, yes, or one of them. Yeah, or was it not the damsel? No, it's a Wood Elf, is it?
Yeah, I think the Wood Elf mage. I think
I know the pose, but
this looks heavily converted. Yeah, definitely.
What's
that
the
pose.
guy on the left though who looks the most legit? Like if you told me that was a proper Cathayan, mage, I'd believe you. Yeah,
100%.
A lot of green stuff maybe around the face, but
yeah.
Wow. I mean, again, just every time you get into it, just start scratching the surface, you realize how big it is. Just for the people who like me who don't know anything about Total War, was any of this done and this big in the other races, or am I just like all the other factions are that big? I just don't realize how big they are. Do you know what I mean? Like, did there anything go a bit crazy? Big in Total War and some of the other factions that we didn't get in 8th, or it's just all straight out of the book?
Pretty good, I think.
Straight out of the book, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty straight out of the book. Sometimes they had like just different weird options. So like, you get one with shields and one without, sort of thing. But yeah, it's
probably a gameplay thing, eh? Hey Jay. Jay's on and Mark. Yep, cheap deals. What is that spam? Yep. What is that?
I hear spam, man.
Okay.
Why are you putting it on screen?
I don't know. Streamboo.com. What the hell is that? Cool. Oh, does it? Josh, are you going to buy one of these? Still not Brett or Wood Elfie enough for you.
Oh, I'm very tempted.
Slaneshi enough.
I'm very tempted.
That's Slaneshi.
I'm actually very tempted, but I just don't know that I've got time to build it.
You've got years. The cool thing is, and I think I know everyone's.
But yeah, I think one day I would love to do it at some point. Yeah, But then by the time we ran doing it, maybe they release other factions, and I'm like, oh, actually, I wanted to have other factions.
Yes.
Ooh.
We'll see.
That's true.
We'll see.
Good point.
Oh,
Josh is going all in on Norska. Okay. Is that based on anything in particular? Slanesh. I think I'll do my Kelvin Slanesh army book review at some point.
yeah.
I wouldn't have picked you for Calder Slanesh, like Josh. I wouldn't.
No.
If there was an army out there, it's just I didn't know you had it in you, to be honest.
Thanks, Andrew. I'll choose to take that in a positive light. I'll show you a minute.
It's about a Naga faction. Well, yeah, if I go, let me bring up this back again, go all the way. These are some of the. This is
what you're going to talk about, right?
Referring to this, Jay, or not, but this is. Oh, you can't see it. It won't come up at the bottom there, but some type of. I think these are attacking Cathay or something from the south. It's like it almost looks to me like this was like an initial snake. You know, the Tomb King, like a different version of the snake.
Like a mean cat face. What's going on?
Yeah, it's weird, that one. And then you had also, so there's a whole other, the different provinces, or whatever you call them. Are they provinces? Or whatever they're called, kingdoms or whatever. And there's like, there's the monkey realm, and then there's also like tiger ones. It's just, there's so much in some of that lore. It'd be very interesting to see, how much they explore. The cool thing is it's going to be long term, man. If this is going to be around for ages, they've got so much to. Just with this faction.
Were they monkey men?
Yeah. Oh, yes, those ones are. They're from the Monkey Kingdom part or whatever. I know it's kind of a bit. I don't know how to take it, but that's probably some of the history of Warhammer. It's like. They didn't really care about tropes, obviously. They just
yeah.
Now you got to go. Interesting. Yeah.
Imagine like something like that coming out as a faction. Like it's like, the old world version 4, and it's like here we have dwarves versus monkey men. Like it's just some of that stuff. Like it's just weird how you're going to have these new factions coming out. Like we've had these factions for what? 20 years sort of thing, and it's like here you go, and then all of a sudden it's just
didn't
like.
You guys say it last week? Was it ogres? Was it ogres the last one? I think someone else said it was 21 or 24 or 20.
Yeah, it's 20 years.
Yeah.
Well, 21, I thought 20. But it was
Oh,
multiple decades since the last faction release, which is very long time.
Yeah. We're going to get you on, Jay. You have to come on and be a comedian for the night.
Unjustified accusations.
To work out the time. The time zones are not good for us and East Coast US at the moment.
Yeah.
But good. Oh, I mean, is that enough for Cathay chat tonight? And then we'll
I think so.
Hobby and stuff. Yeah, okay.
I think we've really wrung as much content as possible out of the Cathay release at this point. I don't think there's anything more we can talk about.
Love you, Josh. They love you, Josh. Multiple decades since Josh last bought it.
What the hell? How is everyone? Okay. I don't think it's been that long.
Josh keeping GW in business, not since 2001.
Hey, I did buy the I was thinking the other day, I bought the Old World books and like the Arcane Journal and like the Britain stuff. I haven't really bought anything since then.
Did you get Lady Duchard though?
No.
Oh, you did. Oh, that's right. You were going
to
bed or something.
She was out of she was sold out.
You're gonna
I never got around to it.
You off, mate?
No, not me.
Same night. I was going to say.
Right.
Because I thought you had hobby to share. So here,
no.
I don't know where. Do you guys recognize Mark? Is he US or is he off to bed? Is that what he said? He must be
surely
then.
It's Oz.
Yeah. Did he though? You got the guy on the royal peg. I say you printed it. You don't need one. Oh, you printed one. Yeah, you didn't need it for your 6th ed.
I printed a Highlands one. I mean, I never ran it. Oh, I did run. No, I ran him at Castle Assault, but then I went to CanCon. I just ran just with no pegs.
Yeah, you didn't have pegs. Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't the new one.
Okay. Sorry, I'm getting confused. Yeah, click that away. Sorry, I was clicking it, then you came back. I'll take it off. Okay, cool. Well, we'll get on the second half. If you want to still hang around, though, definitely, because we'll chat. We're going to go a little bit of news and obviously hobby, whatever else we want to chat about. But before I do that, let's give some Patreon shout outs who always like their name read out here. If you want to check them out, join them. Jump over to patreon.com, Old World Fanatics. We ended up, I don't know what happened or why, but they come in waves, I'd say. I think we got 3 or 4 last week, maybe 3 new ones. I think we had one of them here from last week. Yeah,
it was the Cathay bump.
Yeah, Cathay bump, the hump there. So a big thank you. Now I'm going to stumble over these ones. Nocturne von Drachensang.
It's like,
Grand.
It's like they're written just to be hard for you to pronounce.
Yeah, that's right. Matt Hinton, and then the Old World Warrior blog Warhammer, the Old World. So they joined up, I think, last week. So
that's
but 3 new ones outside of them. Silver Dave, Sporadic Sanity, Mark, Nick, Grand Vanderbush, Chris Bowler, Drunkhammer Nate, Ben Shootalooey, Eugene Chaffel, Benoit, Ed Fawcett from Close Order, Cam the Dentist, James McKellen, Liam Fallon, Tommy Kublin, Jay McBride.
Jay
right now. Thank you. Flatworld's Edge,
Teasing
Sexy
me.
Jelly,
Hero
of the Old World, Keel Herd, David Dodd Lancaster, Tommy Dogs, Matthew Klein, Thumper, Matt Morris, Perfidy, who was catching a bus, I believe.
Yeah, he was leaving the airport and he was like, why are you guys doing your live stream now?
Griff, Jess Tools, Wood Duck, Josh Griffiths, Nananawim, Daniel Broadstock, Jonathan Wengler, Elliot Bitcham, Gilthos, Draconos Diesel, Denny Gamer, Robert Z, OG Whirler, Tainted, Bobby Gherkin, Gumwitch, Sean Ritchie, and of course, Ton Lloyd. We've got to go to page 2.
What?
Sorry, on my list. I've got a list, like it's paginated at 50. So for a second there, I thought the OG had dropped off, and then I realized there's a second page.
Oh, I see. Yeah, you thought he was gone.
I was like, oh no, what the hell?
That would have been so sad. Would have been so sad.
It is the high rollers now. This is good.
Yeah.
And we got 50 something.
51 paid.
51 paid.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Smell that new Ferrari leather.
So thank you so much. No, I really do appreciate it. Definitely.
No, we do.
Makes it a lot easier now. So yeah, cool. We will try to do more and more content, but we are struggling for time a little bit. I think we're all a bit busier than we were last year, but doing our best. It'll come in waves. So who's got some? Did you want to do because we didn't have? Did we have Patreon questions, Josh? I think apart from.
Oh, we had 2. We had 2. Do you want me to read them?
Hey.
I'll read them. Perfidy asks, Empire Arcane Journal focus when?
Supposed to be this week, but we'll see. Hey,
come on, guys! What's all this dilly dallying?
Yeah,
you gotta crack out these faction focuses.
Yeah.
No, I did my Retonium. It only took me just over a year.
15 months or so.
Josh,
but it's done, damn it! It's done, and I can move on with my life finally. But then he follows up with Kaldosanesh deep dive.
Yeah, you get screwed.
Like fuck.
Yeah, you thought you were let off then, but he's like, no.
Yes, I was enjoying the lack of.
Yeah. It's like when you don't have.
I want to see Josh's Cult of Slanesh deep dive.
Yeah.
Might be.
I got to actually play a game with him first. If I can, my friend can actually get around to putting his tiles together. Huh?
Oh, that yes, he was buying. He Gentilly joined the Australian Facebook group or something the other day because I had to approve him somehow. He's finally here.
Did he?
Yeah,
he wasn't in the group.
He wasn't in the group.
Nick,
we'll get all these dwellers together at some point. But
yeah. So if I, because he'll be the person I play against, and he needs to get around to putting his dudes together and actually having a game. And once we do that, I'll put up my learnings of how the Cultus worked.
Yeah.
I'll put it all up on YouTube for everyone to see. One day.
That's funny.
Oh, cool.
I think that's it. Patreon questions. Thanks, Perfidy.
Yeah. That's okay. All good. Sometimes we've got a lot, sometimes we've got not enough.
Yep.
Before we get on to hobby, though, can I just share my screen quickly?
Ooh.
We need to be. This is more Australian. Sorry for people, but fucking sorry. Someone has left the fridge open. It's probably me 2 hours ago, and I can hear it dinging. Might have to run and check that in a minute. You know how like where you leave the door open? I'm like, fuck's sake, was that me? Probably. We have a new Masters ranking leader in Australia as of this weekend.
Oh,
Paddy's been dethroned by the Pain Train.
There we go.
Wow.
Full con that just happened on the weekend. So shot up 51 places because he'd only played 2 games and then he's just played his third straight into first place, the bastard. But well done, Jamie, man. He's just a quiet conqueror, isn't he? So wow, jump straight to the top. So I just wanted to show that. Congrats, mate, if he listens. But yeah, I'm assuming I mean, he was about to captain Australia's team, but we couldn't get the WTC team together in time, unfortunately. But yeah, he's obviously well deserving of that position at the moment. So
yes,
yeah,
sweet.
And Angus jumped up too as well. So Angus is. I think they've got one. Don't quote me on it. I think there's at least 1 or maybe 2 more 5 gamers left before the season ends.
It's that multiplier's a killer.
Angus knows exactly how much he's got to do. Imagine if he jumps him and he wins.
He's gonna go
on Empire
of Man. Those 5 days.
Yeah, it is close. So yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. So very tight at the top there. Yeah. So anyway, I wanted to give Jamie a shout out. Good. So because Paddy, she's been sitting there since day one. She's been
pretty much the whole time. The whole time.
She's just dropped off some of the podiums in the last few. Like she's been playing around with other.
I think she's gone off to explore new horizons.
Yeah, Chaos Dwarves, and I think she was
Chaos Dwarves.
She's playing something else the other day. Empire, maybe. I don't know. She played something else the other day as well. So yeah, she's obviously just playing around. I mean, you get bored. I'd totally get it. So, does someone want to just jump in a hobby? And I'm going to go and
another
check
Patreon
my fridge.
question here.
Here's a new Patreon question. A question for me. Thanks, Jay. Would I rather buy a GW video of a Kangasaur? What the hell? I do buy GW minis. I have bought them many times in my life, just not recently. Man.
But now, what would you rather now?
I'd rather. Why would I ever want a Kangasaur, Andrew? What the hell? Oh. So essentially, I'm saving my $50 to suffer a Kangasaur. I'm willing to buy a GW mini to save myself from having a Kangasaur. What the hell?
Is that like a mouth ulcer?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
Kind of unpleasant. Don't want one. I'll buy a GW mini. I'm not looking to buy it. I just haven't needed to. Other than the world of 3D printing has opened my life. Oh, so many options. So many things I can print legally or illegally.
Yeah, I haven't bought mini. I think Black Hawks for the last GW minis I bought, and I bought the new Arcane Journal for the Elves.
You actually bought it because you said the other day you hadn't got it. That was funny.
Oh no, I went there to Frontline, but yeah, again, I don't think I have a name on a list.
So you guys haven't bought every Arcane Journal? You just bought the ones. You bought the Dwarf one, obviously, Andrew. Have you bought any you bought the Brett one, Josh, but that's it.
Yeah.
And then you just get Wood Elves when it comes out.
Yeah, I'll probably buy the Wood Elf one when it comes out. Yeah.
Because you got all, don't you, mate? You love it.
Yeah, how much are they? $30?
Have you? Is there any release you haven't bought something for? Go on.
Well, no, because I've got Arcane Journals for them all. so no. But outside of the Arcane Journals, I didn't get anything for Chaos.
How many dice sets did you buy?
If you, go back and ask you, if you had to, if every time the release came out, if you bought something, you got a Kangasaur, would you still buy it?
Yeah, probably. A bit of salt water, you know. Bit of mouthwash.
Bit of vinegar.
Actually, you know, ironically, like if it wasn't for the Arcane Journal, I wouldn't have bought anything for High Elves. So that's probably the one I wouldn't buy stuff for. Only because I've got nothing for them really yet, you know. And I'll probably, I don't know. That's the one. I don't know. I don't sort of do elves.
It doesn't speak to you.
Wood elves. I probably would do wood elves. Like I did buy. I have an army sitting there in plastic to put together. But
that's okay. You have as in a box.
Yeah,
not put together
at
all.
Yeah,
right. That barely counts as an army. You bought the minis, but you haven't done any. You haven't put any love to them or any sort of attention.
No, only a little couple of test models and fiddling around. And kids a few years ago play with. I think I bought like 30 different Glade Guard off eBay, Glade Riders, and I think my kids, because they love horses, were playing with them. And I did get them back when Old World came out. Tried to repair some of them. They're probably a little bit worse for wear. But my kids are pretty gentle, so it's not they destroy stuff. So benefits of having girls, well, at least most of the time, at least at that age. Cool, yeah. Hey, so hobby? There is some newsy stuff, but we can even skip it. There's probably not that much, man.
Is there?
There's a little. Well, there's just the wave stuff. There was some news on. I'll just mention. I won't bring it up. So there's Golden Demon winners stuff. If you guys want to check out over at Depticon article,
Okay.
there was a couple. There was Old World entrances there. The Cubicle 7 have done an interview for the Old World role playing game, which apparently will be out over the next coming months, they said. So it's coming. So if you're after lore, that will be awesome. Cheers, Jay. Definitely, And for those who don't follow Jay on Instagram,
what's all those Patreons going to or from the airport tonight?
They're important people. I don't know.
Do you have an idea?
Yeah,
they're all jet setters.
Yeah, and then obviously Wave 2 High Elves went out last week or whatever. I don't know. Wasn't it? Is that what it was?
Oh,
or the Wave 2's done, isn't it? Yeah. It hasn't come yet though, but you could order it. Is that right? I'm just trying to work out where it's up to because I'm trying to work out when Beastman might.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
When do you? Before we get into hobby, then when do you reckon we'll get a Beastman drop? Because we just got that massive Slanesh one, which is huge. That'll be huge, 40k. Do you reckon it might be next week? Because out of the stuff they introed, I don't know if there was anything massive still coming.
No.
Slanesh were coming for a while, and now they're out. Well, they're on pre-order this week. I wonder if they'll, if we might see an Old World one pop back up. Oh, unless there's one that I'm missing.
Yeah, I was guessing like a month, but it could be closer.
Would we get a wave 3 of High Elves before that, or maybe?
I don't know what else is missing. Like they might just have that odd character that. Well, they've only got 2 characters or something, but like like the.
So they're not missing any major units. Okay.
Well, I don't even know. Like, because I've got so many High Elves that I don't actually need to buy anymore.
Yeah, so
I don't think I've actually.
Come out.
I don't need to see the models coming out because I don't need any. I've got like.
Yeah, it was all like Phoenix Warrior, like the Phoenix.
Yeah, I got 2 Phoenixes. I got friggin'
and the Phoenixes they come out.
Yeah.
Okay, they're saying so we got some England rumors here. Beastman's I think is mid-end of May, although Up 3 Armies previewed lease models featured. Yeah, okay. Interesting. Okay, that's a little bit later than I thought, but that's fine.
Oh yeah. Creighton, yeah.
As you'll see in hobby, the longer it takes, probably the better. But anyway, do you want to get on the hobby? What have you done, Josh?
Before we hit hobby, I looked at that Adepticon Golden Demon, and the winner of the Old World, such a crazily cool looking.
Bring it up. And ironically,
Bring it
But
up,
ironically,
these are really cool.
How is that in old world, given it's not?
I know. I always kind of enjoy the
okay.
fact
that
it's
it up.
it's a legacy army that's won this whole
because the
thing.
paint
It's
job
so
is
funny.
pushing Danny Paints' paint jobs here as well. If you have a look at the it's got drawings or something. It's like the armor has got.
We've got to bring it up because we've got to celebrate this kind of thing. It's incredible.
That's not up. Yeah,
it's not up. Well, yeah, I'm like, what are you describing this? You're not talking. You can't see it. It's so pretty. Can you zoom out a little bit? Just marginally.
Nah.
It's so pretty. Man.
Oh, hang on. I can probably hear you. Sorry.
Oh, that's too far. Okay. Sorry, I should have left you where it was. Oh.
Every time I zoom in, it just drops to a different part of the page. That's bloody.
Oh, no.
Oh, right. That's annoying.
You annoying piece of. Why would it do that? Now it's dropped.
Shouldn't have asked you.
Oh,
now I regret asking
how
anything.
Good first place though. That's old world. Sorry, dude. Yeah, it's right here somewhere. There you go. Is that still too far out there? Or is that okay?
That's fine. It's good. That's perfect. Oh man, that's just incredible. It's just so smooth.
Yeah,
looks like you're looking at a drawing, almost like a portrait. Just looking at that.
Look, the wings like that like almost bat-like,
Yeah, and the light coming from the cracks of the tiles beneath, reflecting off the wings. So cool.
Yeah.
And
I love how it like joins into the display a little bit as well, like the cracks going down into that. Even just those little things make such a difference.
But I love it that it's a cast dwarf. It's like what the hell? One deal. Not even a real faction, apparently. Not a real faction.
It was so good. Anyway. They went.
Love it. Yeah, I love that. I love that they did, because they probably were aware of that when they awarded it. And they're like, nah, we gotta do it. Which I appreciate.
You got the white dwarf guy, who I think this guy came out in AOS. I think maybe he didn't. Maybe he was a. I don't know if you guys remember.
I don't remember.
I
don't know.
But obviously you've got
all the dwarves look the same to me.
Yeah. But you got the Cetra Herald guy. What's his name? Nakat.
Yeah.
He's done a good job. Although this thing he doesn't have that, so that's a different thing he's added on to it. So no, it looks cool.
Yeah, he's had some extra scarabee things.
That Baltaurus is just wow.
The Baltaurus out of this world.
Cool.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it. I don't really have much hobby, guys. I've been working hard on some campaign stuff. I can't really release it yet.
Oh, okay. Ooh. Secret.
Here we go.
Secret. Keep it safe,
in the next week or two. I'll put it up. But
it's in the vault.
Yeah, it's in the vault for now.
Yeah, there's a paywall. You got to see Josh's.
Oh, not even. I'm only not talking about it because my participants don't know about this either, so I haven't released it to them. That's the only reason I'm keeping it secret, obviously.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't want to be spilling the beans before
the
beans are cooked properly. Yeah, keep them in the bag. Keep the beans in the bag. Yeah. Anyway. What you guys hobby?
I'll go because we will end on a high with Gomo's hobby.
Oh, it's not high, man. I don't. Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
It's going to be higher.
It's all work in progress, but it's more talking as well. But I've got pictures. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been stuffing around a few bits and pieces. Magnetized. I think the remainder of my sky cutters. I don't know if I said that last time. Just for the crossbow, while the bolt thrower, so I can pull it off.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's just good representation, especially if you're running like multiple of the sky cutters and only like one or two have got the bolt thrower. Just easier just to see it. Anyway, so after last week, me ranting about not like doing horses, ASB contacted me, and was sort of like calling me out for being shit. Just saying it's not hard. No, he wasn't. It was sort of like giving me some tips, and I'm like, oh man, I should actually do it because I know they're not that
Yeah.
hard. It's just like, you know, when you do something when you first get in the hobby, you just do a real shit job, and then like it just sort of like, I don't really like that. Even though it's not that hard. And then I thought, well, all right, I'll dip the toe.
So forgiving.
There's just a lot of flat area that,
there is.
Yeah.
But I did the easiest horse possible, and I went white because I mean, there's not a lot of colors, obviously. So I did like a white, and then all I did was just do the contrast. What is it? The silicon gray, whatever it is. Actually quite dark. And then I was doing some white on top, and then I went the apothecary white, and then I just did just dry brushing. I just did the lazy way. One thing I did do, which I didn't mind, you probably even can't see it there. I reckon it looks cool, but you probably won't even see it on the tabletop, was I put all pink around like his nose and his ears and his eyes and stuff.
That's good.
And then just dry brushed a bit over the top just to blend in. So if you look at it close, I think like that face looks kind of cool, but you're not really going to see it on the tabletop. But anyway, that's him done.
Awesome.
That's cool.
That's a really important part. I mean, I did a little bit of that on my boars, but when you look, even like I was looking at my dog yesterday, probably her under, because I never see sort of the bottom of her chin mouth a lot because she's shorter than me, obviously. But even our horse that we got, there's so much different color difference around their faces. They're just like us, in that regard, we're all different. And if you just paint them all brown or something, it's sort of, you just have to add that bit of stuff onto the facial area, and our brains just go, that looks more sort of realistic straight away. So no, it's really good.
And I got this one for next week, so that should be grey. That's like
put them together like you did.
Put them together. You're showing us before, and that was so
old versus new. So you got the new, the pose, and then you've got the old, and it's just the head.
Is that me?
It's so cartoony, isn't it?
It is. It is very cartoony.
Yeah.
Is it really just so little?
Yeah,
it is.
No dynamism at all.
Yeah.
I don't even know what those ones
classic
are, man.
old hammer feel. Huh?
Which ones are they actually from? So they're both the high elf ones, and then
no, this one's
or one's a wood elf.
The Reaper miniature.
Okay, right.
Yeah. Just
and that look even tiny compared to a leash to shard.
Yeah. Well, it looks kind of similar-ish. But this is what, 4th ed maybe?
Yeah, it is.
Pretty old.
I think
this
it
one.
is. Yeah.
Very old hammer.
And I think they use that for multiple, multiple levels.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the wood elf was on that guy as well. Maybe.
Yeah, because I think the Morgiana Le Fay special character for the Bretts came on that one too. I think.
Right. Yeah.
So there was a few uses for that unicorn.
Yep.
So did we do hobby last week at all?
No, didn't hit it at all.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
We so
I think some of my picks are from
so
that.
long talking about Cathay.
Yeah, fair enough. So I'm trying to get. I mean, just so Andrew, you are taking your Seaguard, right? You're doing that list. For the May, whatever it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I've got
to stick to it. Yep.
Right.
Gotta stick to it. We'll see it. This week.
Yeah, actually, we'll have another game. Yep.
Yeah, we'll get another game.
So I don't know if I'm lagging or you're lagging, but one of my videos. So let's let me know if it's me if I end up skipping my video. Can I? Is it my turn?
Yep.
Yeah. Go for it.
Yeah. So I'm just because I'm taking my nomadic Wa to Shicon. So, and right now I'm sitting at 30 boars, I think, with the potential to do more, but I don't know. I don't really care if it's not as competitive. I'm thinking of keeping one giant in because I just like them, and plus I don't need to pay another 8 balls or some shit. So,
which giant are you keeping in?
Well, maybe yeah, I don't know what happened. Yeah. So Mark just said I went a bit pixelated, so I don't know if my internet's going shit. But let me just run a speed test. Not that I can do anything about it now that we're running. So anyway, so I'm trying to get through a chunk of boars, and
you didn't answer the question.
What?
He can take Josh.
Question.
I don't want Andrew getting sacrificed.
Oh, no one
here.
did. Sorry,
that's all he's gonna do with the giant. It's just
no. I said let's put it up for a vote. I must.
Vote.
Oh, yeah. No, we didn't hear that.
Yeah,
no.
let's do it as a Patreon vote.
Which giant should get sacrificed?
Yeah. We could do the live stream that week.
Just to fly the flag on the table.
Yeah. As bait in Gomer's army.
Yeah.
So why do you see such a negative thing? I feel like I want to be there and you don't want to be there.
And Andrew died. Or Josh died. And Andrew died. Or Josh died. It's just like...
Yeah, basically. They just died. But they are fun. So I don't know. I'll see how I go. I was playing around with the list and going, well, if I just take like 2 fairly big units of ball boys, I can still fit like 1 giant. And it's a bit of fun.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's and maybe, I don't know, I was thinking, depending on the matchups, maybe you do hide him straight away so he doesn't get shot off the board and he comes in a little bit of a support role. I don't know, like there's a few different ways to use him, I guess. But anyway, as a result, I've been doing boars and I have been painting. So I did a bunch of like, I just airbrushed pretty much they've been airbrushed in terms of the brown and then did different variants. Man. You can't really see them of faces, but then some dry brushing. And then I went, it's time to get to play around with some oiling.
This is incredible.
And so I played around. So those guys up on the wet palette are sort of my test ones, different ones that, this guy was darker. I don't know if there's a closer shot of that. That's them.
Which is good.
One of the ones I did straight away, which was quite dark. I mean, this is pre-cleaning, so that's how dark they went when I did it. Actually, the next batch I didn't do it as black. That was like 1-to-1 black and the sepia, and then obviously diluted. Whereas then I went to 2-to-1 sepia to the black, whatever the black, can't remember what it's called, but just because it was a bit too dark around the faces, even when I tried to pull it off, it's sort of, so I struggle with this. I struggle to be really light, even in general, like, everyone says, like highlight right up. So then when you're standing back, you see it. And I've always struggled with that. I've always and I think that my armies still look good, but I think I need to get to the point where you really highlight up, because obviously when you oil it down, you can knock out those highlights. Like even though yes, you can clean it off as well, it still disappears a little bit. So I just need to work on those colors a bit more. You know what I mean? Like just to and that's what I did with these balls. Actually, I went back to them because I did a couple of them. Then I went back and even put some more harder dry brushing on there. Cloaks to try and
go even brighter
up again. Yeah. So that's cool. They come out like it is quick. In the end of the day, it ends up being quite quick. And it's just a weird way to paint because I'm so used to like going layer, like sort of like layer, wash, highlight, like bring it up. Whereas this is like just layer, like even you're doing all the teeth and then you're like highlighting the teeth and you're like doing that all the way up and then you wash the whole thing. It's just really weird. So you're in that weird, annoying, because you know how washes just make it look awesome. And so sometimes when you've got your base coat down and then you wash, it looks awesome, even though it's going to look better because you're going to highlight it. Whereas this is sort of like delayed gratification. You've got to sit there and you've got this weird looking miniature that's got no depth to it for ages. And then it does. So that's it's just a different way to think about it. So then but I think, I mean, and again, my painting's not great. So the guys on the left, and forgive his pink nose, I was going a bit crazy and then it didn't cover it up, so I had to clean it up.
I like the pink nose.
I think you can see it. Like it's just with the airbrush and that, there's a lot more subtlety to the gradient. Whereas this guy over on the right is actually my layered ones that was done initially. So that's a layering.
Right. I see.
That's not done as an airbrush. And the other one, it's subtle, but you can see how much more like
it's very different.
The guy on the left's face just blends in. Do you know what I mean? Like even though I could do a much better job of the color,
transition,
and contrast and all that,
really
but the transition is better, even around the feet. And yes, they're different colors, but as you work out the color palettes and how it works, I think you can get it's gonna get good. I just obviously, like you said, Andrew, this is the first time I've done it, so you just know that you're gonna fuck up some things and it's gonna work out otherwise. And so
Are they sealed?
Time to get them all done.
Did you seal them in that picture?
So I sprayed them with before I oiled. You mean?
No, like now, like in this picture, are they sealed?
Nah, they probably need a whack of a bit of matte, probably, because I did a satin varnish and then put oil over them. I think they're slightly still shiny, but I might put a matte one. But I'm not used to varnishing. I haven't varnished for fucking ever, so I just don't need it with plastic. But now I'm like, But then I'm not even convinced. If you're gentle, I don't even think you need to do it for the oil wash. It depends what you're doing, like how hard you're scrubbing it off and stuff, and how long you leave it on, and all that sort of stuff. And something like a bore, do I care that a bit of primer comes through? Not really. Do you know what I mean? Because it's brown. Like I primed it with brown. So like if you strip it back, I don't know. I feel like it's probably not a bigger deal. But anyway, I went through.
Don't you have to seal it after you do it? Like you let it dry and then you seal it?
Yeah, but I haven't done it. It's just been sitting there at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So I just spray them with a matte probably at some point.
Yeah.
So that's all oiled, and obviously they're finished now. Like my balls are finished now. I've then I sat down and put all the people together. So it's like, because that's what I got to paint. 22 actually of the orcs to go on top. So finally, the airbrush. I've been getting a good rhythm, and then just last night, because I primed all the orcs, and then I was going to start like zenithaling with my airbrush.
Yeah.
And for the life of me, I tried 3 times, and my airbrush clogged with the white within fucking free thing, like and I was like, fuck, pulled it all apart, cleaned it, did it again. I was like, and then I just went to bed angry, just going, what the fuck? And then I read later in bed, because I was like, what the fuck just happened? White's one of the worst to block because it's got a bigger pigment, and I'm using my smallest airbrush. I probably should use my larger one, so I'm going to try that tomorrow. I was like, fuck's sake. Okay. So it's like one of these things that like gives, and then takes away, and you're like, So anyway.
Right.
I'll get there. So these are some of the stuff from last week. I printed out those Highland dudes, the White Wolf, not the Chewton Guard.
Oh, okay. Chewton Guard type fellows.
There's 21 of them that fitted on a plate, so that's cool. I don't know when I'll ever get to them, but
was that on a single plate?
Yeah.
Nicely squeezed on there. Yeah.
But while I'm finishing, because actually I think I'm going to get a stab at doing a fair bit of my orcs by Thursday, Andrew. I don't think I'll finish them, but they'll getting there, and then I just need to finish my wyvern. So I think my nomadic wire will be done like by the first week of May. It's got a couple of weeks. So I am prepping my beastman. So this is a Vestarium Doombull. He looks pretty fucking nasty. Once he's sprayed and stuff, I think you'll see the texture in him, but he looks pretty gnarly.
Yeah. That's insane.
And I've printed out 3 Razor Gore, and then I've printed 2 of these guys out from one-page rules for
these are your giant
spawns.
Yeah,
so I've done one that way, and I mirrored the other guy. The only problem is I upscaled him to 110, right? And
the magic of printing. Love it.
Yeah,
so many options.
They got really thick supports, and now half of them, see that support there? It's fucking just stuck in. This guy needs a lot of cleanup. Yeah.
You can't, that's the problem with upscaling it if the supports are on there.
Yeah. So anyway,
I don't mind downscaling it because usually it's fine, but upscaling you can run into issues.
Especially if it's too close to an area and it's just stuck on there, and you're like, damn it. But I think
just got to do your own supports.
I think he looks pretty good for a cat. Like, because some of the other people, like people use anything with a giant cat spawn, but I feel like I want him to look, I don't know, a little bit, not so much like the proper one, but I don't know. I wanted something with some hands but sort of like slimy on the ground as well, and not just like I just didn't want him looking like a mutilate vortex beast or something, So anyway, he looks pretty cool. So he's got like a tail and stuff like that. So he'll come out good. I've got 2 chariots. I'm putting a third one right now without people, so I can put a shaman on it. And I've started putting together the dragon ogres. I need 4 of them, and then I've got to do 20-something gauze. So basically, it'll be like a unit of gauze with the Doom Bull in it, with a BSB. That gives you that -1. Like everything's like debuff, -1 to hit, -1 to hit.
Yeah.
The unit gives -1 to hit, and all that crap. So it's a little bit. I don't know how optimal it is, but it seems to be one of the builds people have out there. Some dragon ogres,
synergy, yeah.
Obviously the 2 chaos spawns, and then later on, I might that way when the things come out, I might get a Gorgon and stuff. But it seems like everyone's going for the chaos spawns, so I'll just print them.
Yeah.
So, so ironically, I only need to put some more gore together, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then I'll just spray it all, magnetize it, get it on bases, and then I'll just start the process, I guess, of working out what I'm going to do with them. But
I think that's a pretty solid list.
They'll be pretty easy because they'll all be like maybe, I don't know, like I'm thinking spraying it, priming them with like a barbarian fleshy type color, you know what I mean, and then go up from there, and then dark from there with the wash, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That sounds fun.
Yeah. Anyway, so so they're coming together.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Yeah, can you imagine like a year ago? Imagine you saying you were airbrushing like layer levels and then whacking oil paints on to wash, man. Like it progressed so much. Like it's insane.
Yeah.
And it looks so much. It looks so good.
Mark just said looks similar to the list. Oh yeah, I mean it could be your list. I don't know. I just grabbed half it off of bloody the old ranking site. I got someone 1-1 or 4-1 or something, and plus then I just picked ones that I wanted. Like I wanted to have the Doom Bull because I like the look of this model, but I just want to try them out. And you see ones with no gore, or not no gore, but you see ones with virtually no infantry, and it's just chariots and the razor gores and stuff. But I wanted some foot troops just to actually paint them. Plus, I think that'll be the first things I paint because I don't know. Gore feels like a good way to practice the color scheme initially.
I think that's probably a good way of settling the look of your army for sure. It's getting the rank guys done.
Yeah.
Because if you do a few test models, they can sort of hide it in amongst the other dudes. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, exactly. 100. Yeah, totally.
And then once you've got your style sorted, then you can hit the more distinctive centerpiece type stuff. Yeah, for sure.
The actual shaman's the one that's a bit annoying actually, because I made the guy that comes with the Vanguard box, which I think was one of the AOS guys. But I don't know. Like maybe I should try to find one. Like you got the ones from Bestarium. They're a little bit, or Bestarium, however you say it. They're a little bit more because that guy's from there. They're definitely way out there, and look, if you did them all they'd look cool. But some of the other ones they're just very different. Like they're a bit disturbing. But at the same time, they look cool. So I'm like, can you make it work? And there's a cool guy. He's like he's in a cloak of like feathers. Looks very beasty. You know what I mean? Like bestial, I should say.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he'd look that good on a chariot. So I was like, otherwise I would have printed him off. But if anyone knows any other good shamans that look G-dub-ish and not totally, Beastmen are one of these armies that you can look at 2 different 3D print models and they're just totally different. You're like, oh.
Yeah.
So they're hard to mix a little bit, I think this guy will match not too bad because he's by himself and he'll look crazy and that fucking axe looks awesome. It's gonna just,
he fits the Doom Bull sort of.
Yeah, like a Doom Bull's supposed to be. I am just off my nut, Like this guy looks a bit like that.
It looks like that.
Nah,
You wouldn't want to come across him in a paddock.
No.
Yeah. Well, Mark, sorry. Mark just said Tom Cully runs. So Tom's the guy, he runs like his own 3D printing things. He's on the UK, does a lot of the UK stuff. Good player, Beastman. Yeah, and he's running all Bestarium and his army. I mean, if you obviously Mark's seen it, looks disgustingly awesome. In terms of like some, I don't know, you guys know who I'm talking about with Bestarium, their line. Some of it's so disturbing. And then when you paint it with like blood and all the stuff on it, it's like, oh God, what is this thing?
Right.
Yeah, he's running a bunch of 4 Vile Tides. You can get 5, can't you? I think in the list, I think as well. Imagine that, like run around with 25 D6-1 shots. You know, no armor save. You just wipe a lot off the board.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the biggest thing I think with Beastmen, there's no flying. Like, so, you know, I can see why they also struggle to like totally win all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, against like gun lines, they do just because they don't have a lot of armor. So
sorry, Mark just said about the Voltide. Yeah, he dropped one, so it wasn't too OP.
Yeah, right.
From the 5 to the 4.
Yeah.
Mark, you're gonna have to tell me about the meta. I feel like because obviously I run the old world ranking site and I do a lot of the lists, like put them all in. There's a lot of warrior. It's a hardcore meta over there. Like it's like so many tournaments finish with probably the top 10 would have, you know, easy 5 to 6 warrior players, and they're all got, you know, double chaos boards, and it's just like you walk in there, you get your face smashed. But I think they do it in such a good way. They're not assholes or anything. It's just really funny. But yeah, pretty interesting. Yeah, you said harpies too. Yeah, definitely. I mean, yes, harpies can fly. I'm talking about sort of flying big shit. You know, like the Duke or the Baron. You know, those type of things. Is sort of you're missing some of that. So
yeah,
you can you do the flying Doom Bull? Was that a thing, or was that an 8th thing? You know, like was that the thing that 8th used to do? Where you put, or was that just still on the Shaman? I can't remember. You know, everyone used to do the flying carpet, dude.
I don't remember a flying Doom Bull.
Oh, was it? I thought it was, but maybe not.
Well, I didn't see much Beastmen around in 8th, so I don't. Maybe it was a thing. I just never really encountered it. They really weren't popular.
Oh, that'd be good
at all.
Cheers, Mark. Yeah. Definitely keen to hear about Beastman strategies. I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but and Andrew, if you don't mind playing against unpainted stuff, if I can get them all up and done, maybe we can have a game. Yeah.
No, I'd be keen as because I've only played Beastman a few times.
Yeah. Well, after like this week we'll do. Or I need the pressure on to finish my orcs, so that's the good thing about this tournament. But I reckon next week I'll have it all the Beastmen all magnetized up on bases, all on movement trays, and just ready to prime and go. So
yeah. Well, I'll be back on the Chaos Dwarf train, I reckon, after ShyCon.
Okay.
Because we've got is it Winter March coming up?
Yeah, winter. Yep.
And we need to sort out some accommodation actually.
Oh shit! I was looking at accommodation for I was, and then I guess I was getting confused where it was, and then I was trying to look around, going, "Oh god, it's actually not as. Is there just not as much stuff out there?" Or
I don't know. There's a hotel. I'll chat to you later, but
okay.
There's a hotel I've stayed at.
Okay,
sort of not too bad.
Yeah, now I'll sort that. Anyway, that's probably our episode, man. I don't know. Like, hopefully that was.
I can't believe we got 2 hours.
I can't believe we're over 2 hours again.
That's me. You can't stop me, man. I thought I was going to call a short one, and then I just can't shut up.
Yeah.
It's Warhammer.
That's
Warhammer. That's great.
You won't die playing this game, man. You'll just stay alive because you just keep going, Cathay's coming. I'll have to. Like, you'll be 97 and they'll be bringing out Ind or something, and you'll be like, they'll be like, he's not dying. And you're like, but there's a release going.
Monkey man.
Yeah. Anyway, I better wrap it up. Let these guys get to bed.
Yep,
It feels like midnight here. So
I'm
thanks
done.
for watching another live stream, and we'll be back obviously next week. Check us out on YouTube. Like, subscribe, send us all the things we got wrong on Cathay or things we missed. We really appreciate it. Really appreciate all the views. And big thank you to all our patrons and supporters. It's been really awesome. So thank you guys. And I guess, we'll see you next week, guys. And hopefully a bat rep at some point as well later on the week. Cheers, everyone. Thanks a lot. See you next time.
There you go.